Bitcoin has been pumping and we are currently retesting the most important and also critical resistance area, and with this pump we could be actually getting a very important move. I'm going to be covering the critical move we need to actually see Bitcoin do for us to actually pump much higher. I still got my long, by the way, from 58k which is literally the bottom, and also potentially we could be taking a setup today on Bitcoin, because with this pump, I always said, guys, that pumping, we don't long Bitcoin if it pumps. I don't just randomly pump or long because Bitcoin is pumping, but I actually, whenever we pump further, we may get ideas and actually zones of support and strategies below us that could actually offer us a long. Hence why now, with Bitcoin still being stuck within the range we've been speaking about, I told you guys, like on the lower time frame locally, all you need to focus on really for Bitcoin and on Bitcoin is this section of the chart between 61.3 to 64.5. This is all you need to actually be profitable in trading. You should not care about, or you don't need to care about Bitcoin and what's going to happen on Bitcoin. Just focus on this range, make your money, print your money, and actually copy paste our strategy. Hence why right now I'm going to be focused on something very important. However, before I speak about the next long position, now obviously I still got my long, which was taken from 58k. Why? Because not only are we above the critical zone of 61.3, but we even flipped the POC, the middle of this local range, as support. So 62.5 is support, 61.3 is support. So there's literally zero reason for me to close any portion of the long that I took from the bottom. We took a long, I'd say 8 or 9 days ago, and we're still making money, printing money, and potentially we're going to be making even more money with this trade, because if Bitcoin is just able to actually flip 64.5 from resistance into support, I told you guys we may see Bitcoin easily, go above a much further pump to this section of the chart. I covered in my video yesterday, guys. I told you that my biggest plan for either seeing Bitcoin pump much further, or maybe get our biggest, nicest short on Bitcoin lately, would be potentially being done in between $70,000 to 67.7. So we had this high that we made in mid-June. So if Bitcoin reclaims 64.5, I'm going to be expecting higher till we get to 67, 68, 69, which is the zone. And then here, I cannot tell you what's going to happen. I can tell you what to do whatever happens. So as told you guys, like if we see a reclaim and then we see the zone being hit, we either catch the most amazing fake out, as we had done, if you guys remember back when we had shorted 96k. If we see this fake out, I'm going to be jumping into the most amazing short in Bitcoin, literally replicating the same thing we had done like 7 months ago. However, if Bitcoin doesn't do that and we actually see 67k being held, 68k being held, I'm going to be keeping my 58k long going and open for long, because obviously reclaiming the zone may cause Bitcoin to easily pump further and pump higher to possibly even $80,000. So right now, the local important resistance zone is 64.5. The important higher to mid time frame resistance is 67, 68k. Hence why right now I'm going to be planning a potential long. Again, for those that are looking to make money and you don't have a open position yet, I'm going to be covering my closest idea for long. I told you guys, like, I'm happy because whenever Bitcoin pumps, I'll be making money, because obviously we have open positions. But also, if we drop, like after doing that, we may catch an amazing long. And right now we have this amazing, I'd say, confluence or zone of confluence where we got the anchored view up. Now it's a lower, tiny, medium, I'd say, trade idea where we got this anchored view up, the thick one that is coming off of the low we just made, I'd say, on Wednesday, and we even then here got the low of Friday, the current daily low, and we got $63,000 as a full thousand number. We got the NPOC and the RPOC. So we literally got a block of reasons and a zone where I may be interested in actually seeing Bitcoin. If, again, we need to see the drop, and once we see the drop, I need to judge the reaction for myself, potentially even open the order flow app, because obviously, even though I can highlight this being the section, or the section for interest for potentially logging Bitcoin, first of all, we may not see a drop. I cannot give you the prediction. I have no idea where Bitcoin is going to. But if we actually see the drop, even the reason why you don't ever see me put a limit order, but rather just alerts at that level, is because obviously Bitcoin may as easily just hit this zone and then immediately drop from it. So hence why you need to be prepared for the level, but you should never put a limit order. You need to be awake, fully available for actually judging the reaction. However, as I told you guys, like, I'll be focused on this level if Bitcoin is actually wanting to build some good structure, reclaim, or after reclaiming the POC, the middle of this little local range, if it wants to continue further, this could be a chance for somebody to jump into the train, the pump train, for potentially then breaking 64.5 and then even going to 67, 68k, and then hopefully we catch an amazing trade. Either we short 67, 68, or maybe just fully continue pumping higher and printing money with the long open positions.